Nicolas Gotch, I'm pleased to welcome you here on Zoom. You're in London right now. Due to the pandemic situation, you unfortunately cannot be present in Basel, and we are now speaking here on Zoom. You live in London and are both composer and music teacher. After studying composition at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama in London, you specialized in Krakow with a composition scholarship. Your new piece, Tenebrae, is premiered today by the Kammerorchester Basel, directed by Frank Olu. Tenebrae was written in London in late summer 2020. I suppose it reflects the current pandemic situation.
Yes, I wrote it, as you said, in the late summer 2020. It is a sort of pandemic piece. I mean, I've lived in London most of my life, and March and April last year, I've never seen the sudden change of having no traffic, hardly any people walking around, a feeling of, the buzz of the city had gone. So it was actually quite a very strange time. So you felt that life had slowed down and was somehow darkening because we were having daily news of how many people were dying, and there was still all the uncertainty of what the virus was, etc., etc. So it was a very strange time in London.
What's the title about?
Well, Tenebrae obviously means darkness or shadows. So the piece is about, it explores dark harmonies and the way the harmonies change from one to the other. So that most of the pitches of the instruments are very low pitches. And I just explored, I had a series of chords that I used for the piece. And it's really just a slow moving piece of changing harmonies, colours.
As you said, now that the piece shows the gradual transformation of dark harmonies, you say also that the bells announce the change. How does this sound musically?
Right, well, for example, after I think it's about 3 minutes, the bells come in for the first time with the oboe, a B natural, and it's a very important moment in the piece where it moves the music on to something else. So each time the tubular bells play, the music is somehow shifted on to new areas of harmony. And the bells actually do bring the piece to some sort of resolution, in inverted commas. So they have a very important aspect of this piece.
You also evoke the image of sparse interior of Christian churches. Is this image also translated into the piece?
Yes, I mean, the whole piece is kind of very simplified, if you like. All the instrumental parts are very straightforward. There's nothing showy. I do remember when I was a boy, I was a chorister a long time ago, I sang in a choir, and I do remember the Easter week when they used to strip the altar of the linen and the other colourful bits of the church. It was all became very bare for a whole week. And of course, the pandemic actually, last Easter was actually the height of the first wave of the pandemic. So in terms of the relation to this piece, everything is stripped down to the minimum, the instrumental parts. There's nothing showy, nothing colourful in terms of the instruments by themselves. It's just the harmonic whole of the piece.
You also wrote about the piece that it's a musical poem of reflection and hope. How is this musically expressed?
Yes, well, that's a difficult one. It's a slow, reflective piece, so I think it has that quality of reflection. Hope is a very subjective thing. What was occurring in the back of my mind, a quote of T.S. Eliot, which is, "The darkness declares the glory of the light." It's quite a well-known sentence which he wrote in a play, The Murder in the Cathedral. And for me, that might be an element of hope, that out of darkness will come light. We will come through this, like day will follow night.
Thank you for the interview.
Thank you very much.